Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is White Lightning. Welcome to Space Engineers and to an exciting new release of some more content for the game. Behind me on this nifty new screen, which I'll talk about in a second, you can see that it is Space Engineers' 6th anniversary, which is crazy. This game has been out for 6 years. It has come a long way. I haven't had it that entire time. I got it in 2014, not 2013. But even in the last 5 years, I've seen, of course, some really crazy advances and gotten a lot of enjoyment out of the game, and hopefully you guys have too. It is the anniversary of Space Engineers, and in conjunction with that, King Software House has released Decorative Pack number 2. The first one came out earlier this year when the game left early access and went to full development. Decorative Pack number 2 is out. It is available on Steam for $3.99 USD if you want to pick that up. Big thanks. I want to give a big thanks to King Software House publicly for providing me with the download key or a product key so that I could get the pack right away and show you guys what's going on. So as you can see behind me, let's see, hop into first person here. You can see behind me, this is one of the new blocks that's available in the new download pack. I am in a totally vanilla world, and all of these blocks are new and available, so we'll talk about them in a minute here. The first one here is this transparent LCD, which looks super good, really sci-fi-y, and I can just imagine like bridge windows or something like that that have LCDs on them. If you just walk up to it and hit K, you can edit it. You know, I have it set on text and images right now. I'm wondering if script, okay, so I can turn it to a script. Kind of defeats the purpose if I'm running, you know, an opaque script or whatever, although I guess you can still see around it. But I don't know, I'm envisioning, if we switch back to text and images, I'm envisioning, you know, bridge windows and stuff like that, having things projected on them like HUDs and things like that, so that's really exciting. Moving on, next we have a brand new, I'm going to turn on my lights here so that you guys can see fully what's going on here. We have a vending machine or dispensing machine. It doesn't really do anything. Looks kind of fun though. The item for sale is Clang Cola. If we just hit that, you know, we can just see we can change the change some of the options, but can't actually change and program it to give us any food or anything. That's something that still has to be modded into the game, and maybe they'll add in the future if they're adding some of these decorative things like the vending machine. I think that'd be kind of cool. Moving on down, there is a jukebox in the game now, and not only this isn't just a decorative block, this is a functional block. We can come in here just to the menu here, and it comes preloaded with a bunch of tracks, some music, and also some sounds that already come with the on some of the sound blocks. Some of these the existing sound blocks in the game, but some of these sounds are new. I haven't even gone through and listened to all of them, but there's build music, mystery music, calm music, space music, light fight music, heavy fight music. Oh, let's try that. Add that. So if you just double click it, you add it to the selection. You can remove it. You're basically this menu is just basically building a playlist, and then if you come here and hit play, oh gosh, that's jamming. Yeah, that song slaps. How cool is that? We're gonna leave that on. I don't know, maybe that's a little too intense for what we're doing here. Then you can just come in here and hit next, and we can have the calm music play. You can set the range on this block. I saw you can set the volume and make it louder or softer. Set the range so that it actually makes the music up to 500 meters. Wow, that's crazy. So you can, you know, set up maybe in your hangar where you're doing your building, you can set up a jukebox that's doing the build music, and then you can have maybe on your bridge when you're piloting or fighting, you can have a jukebox that you can set up for all the fighting music or something like that. So that's kind of cool. I'm not actually hearing any music right now. I guess that's a little too calm for our track. I also have mystery music. Sounds very mysterious. Sounds also like very in character with the existing music in Space Engineers currently. But yeah, so we'll just leave that playing while we walk along and discover the mysteries of Decorative Pack 2. This is the lab equipment block, which is, again, just purely decorative. Would look super good in a laboratory, obviously, or a medical bay. So that's a really nice touch, really nice decorative. By the way, all of these are done using the clean texture with the light gray color, so color models may differ from those pictured. This is the new shower block, which is super nice. We have a toilet block already. This is shower block. Unfortunately, you can't interact with it in any way, but, you know, put it in a chamber with your toilet, and all of a sudden, not only do we have a toilet, or not only does it have a shower, it has a sink as well. So no more will we be running around space with toilets that we've been pooping in and then not washing our hands. I don't know, I'm going to assume our suits have like built-in hand sanitizer dispensers or something like that, because to not be washing our hands up until now, it's super freaky. That mirror doesn't actually show me, which is a little bit oh, that actually looks like it's a window. Yeah, it looks like they just made a super foggy window or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it's. Is that a mirrored image there? Yeah, it doesn't actually show the character, which is unfortunate. That'd be cool. Although I can imagine how that would really hurt processing. This next block is probably the one I'm most excited about for this entire decorative pack, and it's actually a set of 3 blocks here. These windows. Let's see, what are they called? Let me pull up my HUD and see what we got. Oh, looks like we got some pirate ships spawning in. Okay, so these are called the window walls. Is just the normal version like this, and this block in the middle is just the normal window wall. And then we have a window wall left and a window wall right, which looks super good. These are these end up looking like the windows that are built into the beds that came out in the last deco pack, and they're tinted from the outside, and then this is the inside. I think they look fantastic, and I will totally be spamming these all over my ships and stations because these look way better than just the plain pane of glass that we have already. These plus the LCDs, oh man, I can see people doing awesome things with bridges, living quarters, you know, just a window in a hall as you're walking down the ship and you have a big window about this size to kind of look out. Oh man, so much better than the existing windows we have in game already, so that's fantastic. This is another thing you can put in your medical bays and infirmaries. This is just a medical scanner. Again, doesn't do anything. You can't interact with it. Doesn't actually function as a medical as a respawn point. At least I don't think it does. I don't know. It has the thing on it that says that like, because the medical room and the survival kit both have that logo on it, but I guess the industrial cockpit does as well, and that doesn't function as a respawn point or heal you up or anything. And I've looked around it, poked it. There's no way to like lie down in the bed. I think that would be cool if you could lie down in the bed and get health from it, but it's very MRI-ish, very Star Trek-y. Looks like the medical scanner that they have in Star Trek Enterprise or something like that, so I think that's really cool. Moving on here, these are new blocks. This interior block is not, or this interior pillar is not new. I needed to use it though so I could mount these catwalks, which are kind of neat. This new graded stair is I keep saying it's new, but yeah, it's new, and it's nice because it's now an alternative to stairs that's because the normal default stairs in the game, in the base game in vanilla, are 1x2, and so it takes up a lot of space. If you want to make a stairwell, they're a lot more shallow. This is just a 1x1 block. And in the past, we used to use a lot of people use the windows, the diagonal slanted windows with the shutters as kind of a substitute for stairs that are, they look kind of like stairs, and they're just a 1x1 block, so you can make some more compact staircases that way. This is just way better. Because it's an actual staircase and it looks super good. And then these catwalks, there's the blank catwalk, there's a catwalk with railings on each side, corner railings, and then one side railings. Technically not called catwalks, technically called, let me pull up my G menu here and see what they are actually called. Technically called, yeah, graded catwalk. So we've got the graded stairs, we've got the graded catwalk, and then we've got the super nifty half graded stairs. So even more of an industrial, like very practical, spacey feel from this little half stair block. So that's super cool. And then some new railing blocks that we can use if we don't want to use the catwalks and place the catwalks down, if we just want to put railings on like the light armor blocks that I've put here. These work, again, a full set of these. The one side, both sides, the corner, and then this one I'm really excited about is a diagonal. I don't know of any, at least I haven't used any mods that have a diagonal railing or anything like this, so I think that's super handy. And then we've got this rotating light, which is really cool. Slightly annoying and slightly aggravating. Maybe don't plaster, and probably performance heavy, so don't plaster these all over your ship. But now instead of having to put a light on a rotor if you want a spinning light for like a battle alert or something like this, you just put one of these in your bridge, and it's tiny too. You just put one of these in your bridge and rig it up to a button or a timer, and if you head into battle, you hit the button and this light starts spinning and flashing red or something. Or same with hangar doors, you hit a button, your big airlock doors or big hangar blast doors open, and these lights spin for a couple of these lights spin for 4 or 5 seconds while the doors open. So that's really cool. Moving over here, these are the freight blocks, and there are 3 varieties. This one is just one, obviously, has a 10,000 liter. Well, I've upped in the world settings. I've upped the cargo capacity for blocks to 10 times. So this one, if you're doing realistic, it'll have 1,000 liters of storage. 10 times, which a lot of people play on, it'll have 10,000 liters, which is nice. And then the second one is basically 2 of those blocks sitting together, and that's 20,000 liters. And then I've put 2 of these together here, but this is the third version, which is the Freight 3. And if you poke this, you can see that it has 30,000 liters. Not conveyored up, but you can put like guns in here, resources, things like that. Really cool for making like immersive cargo bays and hangar bays and stuff like that. Just really cool, and you can see I've stacked 2 of them together to give you guys an idea. You know, you have a couple of cargo boxes sitting in the corner that you can squirrel loot in and things like that, or you know, maybe hide one of these in a secret passage in your ship, and that's your smuggler compartment, and this is the secret loot that you've got, a la like first episode of Firefly or something like that. So that's really neat. Unfortunately, they do take up a full block. We're not quite to the point, or the game is still like, all of these pieces do take up 1 full block, so you're gonna have to plan your ships around that. You can't put a light or an LCD or anything next to these things if you place them down. But you know, you people are creative, you should be able to figure that out. Last new block that we have, I've just spawned in a couple of these blue vanilla fighters that came in like the very first start scenario of the game, just to show you guys a little bit of the other features. This is the last block we have, which is a small ship. Wow, that jetpack goes fast. Small ship control seat. If we can just pan around it here, looks super good. Got a couple joysticks, got a little screen, got some pedals that would look really good on a little rover or something. That, in fact, it reminds me of the driver's seat on the lunar rovers that they sent to the moon with the Apollo missions and stuff like that. So super cool, and of course it functions as a cockpit and control seat, and you can even look down and look, there's my screen, and I can put something on the screen with the screen scripting tools that we've gotten in the last few months from the game. So that's really nice and is going to provide a nice option. I haven't actually checked to see if it's significantly cheaper than, say, the cockpit, and it's looking like it is. It's looking like it's going to be a cheaper version or a cheaper option. If you're just building a starting vessel, you can place one of these down and not have to shill out, for example, the bulletproof glass that you have to for a full cockpit. So that'll be kind of nice. Then moving on, we do have also 2 new skins with the game. This first one is, you kind of have to get close to see it. It's a little bit hard to identify, but this is the, oh gosh, what's it called actually? This is the battered armor skin here. Which just, you know, we've got the clean armor, we've got kind of the normal default armor, and then we've got this battered armor, which is a step more janky looking. And so you can imagine, you know, building a freighter that looks like it has this battered armor, you know, looks super grizzled, like it's been places and done things that it doesn't want to talk about, and you don't have the money to give it a new paint job or something like that. So that battered armor is super cool. And some of the trailer and promo builds that Keen Software House put out in advance of this update are pretty cool with the with some of the things they were able to build and make look cool. And then the second armor is this rusty armor. So we go from battered to just rusty and totally broken down and run down, which again looks super cool and has some really great possibilities for like if you want to make a reaver ship, paint it this rusty color or something like that. And if you, I guess I'm doing Firefly references today, but like, I don't know, if for Star Wars reference, if you want to make the Millennium Falcon, make it out of the battered armor or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, some super cool options there. So that's what we have in this brand new update, guys. I hope you... Well, I will say for a second, I've already seen on the forum some people are a little bit salty that Keen is starting to do the paid DLC. These deco blocks function as the previous deco blocks, as in the way that they're not pay to win. I guess the one exception to that could potentially be the very minor exception, granted, the block over there with the small control seat, like I say, it is cheaper. It is a cheaper option for if you want to get just a starting ship down. Also, I feel like I realize as I'm standing next to this, it looks like I'm advertising for Keen Software House. I'm not exactly. Oh, there's the creepy music starting up again from the Jukebox. I'm not exactly. I'm just like telling you guys where you can get it and how much it is if you want it. But I will say, if you don't want it and if you don't want to spend the $4, you don't have to. And if you're playing on a multiplayer server, you'll be able to use all of these blocks that someone else places down. If one of your friends buys it and the rest of your friends don't, as long as you're playing with that friend, you'll be able to use these blocks that he or she places down, like the shower. You won't be doomed to walk around space in a sweaty spacesuit because you can't use the shower because you didn't buy the $4 deco pack. That being said, I'm really enjoy Space Engineers. This is the third or fourth DLC that they've done for a very modest price, I feel like. Like in most U.S. restaurants, you can't buy a burger and fries for under $3.99. Like, yeah, if you go to McDonald's and order off the dollar menu, you can probably get a burger and fries for like $2.50 or something. But I feel like the enjoyment that I'm gonna get from these new blocks, like the Jukebox block and all the decoration and all the skins and all the immersion that it's going to add to the game, is going to be well worth it for me. So that's a decision you guys can make for yourselves. I just wanted to show you these blocks, and maybe you can decide for yourselves whether it's worth the $4 for you or not. But I hope you have a fantastic day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Check out my channel, subscribe, check out some of my other Space Engineers content and series that I have going on right now, and I will see you over there. Have a good day.